Hello everyone, Feanor here today with a breakdown and guide for leads, scrying, and excavation. I will discuss much of the how-to information and tactics I have found very useful over the years while completing these tasks. I have broken up the video into segments. If you need to see the full guide start to finish as a new player, then begin right here. If you already have scrying and excavation started but are looking to learn my best strategies to do it quick and efficiently for the most rewards, then you can skip to this timestamp on the screen. If you wish to know the other excavation tactic, which I don't personally use due to it being less efficient, but that others find fun, you can go to this timestamp on the screen. If you wish to see how acquiring leads from treasure maps looks, you can go to this timestamp on the screen. And if you wish to see how to power level scrying and excavation the quickest way possible, you can skip to this timestamp on the screen. I also want to remind everyone that Greymoor is scheduled to be added to the base game in Season 2, which means somewhere around October, scrying, excavation, and mythics will be obtainable even by players without ESO+. First and foremost, to begin your scrying journey, you will need to travel to Solitude in Western Skyrim, and find this building marked on the map, marked with a symbol of Antiquarian circle. Inside, you will speak with Verita Namita at the front desk, where she will provide you with an introduction quest teaching you the basics of scrying, excavation, and the Antiquarian's Eye tool, which will help you locate excavation sites. Once you run through this first easy intro quest, you can begin leveling both professions out in the real world immediately. And as the first 5 levels will be quite the grind and limited to their rewards, I would heavily advise you spend some time in Artaeum grinding green and blue tier leads, which are endless. The reason for this is because of how small the zone is, and it provides you with the most efficient process of farming green tier leads, unlocking blue tier, and then being able to rinse and repeat that process. Blue technically won't unlock until level 3, but you will reach that fast. I actually spent some time grinding it out on this alt so I could let you know. It took me around 30 minutes. Newer players might take around 40 minutes to an hour. Always complete the highest tier available to you though, as it rewards the most experience and yields better rewards. You'll notice that once you unlock blue and start completing those second tier rewards. Once you finally unlock level 5, you can put a skill point into Antiquarian Insight 3. And this is where things get a little more fun in my opinion. There's a good chance if you have played around after obtaining scrying and excavation that you have accidentally unlocked leads, which pop up as if they are loot. Those leads can now be scryed in any zone, as long as they are purple, blue, or green in quality. Start checking which zones you might have the purple quality leads in, and take your newly discovered archaeology ways around the world. Continue scrying this way, favoring purple quality as much as possible until you reach level 7 in the professions. You can still farm Artaeum as you had before, but the XP demand is higher and those leads are worth a lot less than purples. You might also be a bit burnt out on that area after the beginning grind. Once you reach level 7, you will now have access to gold tier leads, which is arguably the pivotal moment and primary goal for many players embarking on this endeavor. This is where you will increase the value of rewards greatly, the difficulty of the tasks moderately, and most importantly, have access to leads which unlock mythic wearable items in the game, many of which are the best items in the game or mandatory aspects of major builds. Finally, the grind to level 10 in these professions can be a lengthy one, but typically does not have the same urgency since mythic items have been unlocked already at 7. But you will be able to complete what are called ultimate leads once you reach level 10. These leads are special collectibles, furniture, mounts, cosmetics, etc. You also have all the perks which make scrying and excavation easier at this point, which can make the experience a little bit better and improve your chances at bonus loot during the excavation minigame. So scry through as many gold leads as you can as you get them to climb through these levels at a decent pace. What are leads and how do you acquire them? Leads are essentially a magical clue you unlock from various tasks in ESO, which lead you to treasure in the real world, once you use the scrying mechanic to decode them. You can obtain various leads in ESO by killing world bosses, delve bosses, public dungeon bosses, essentially any type of boss in the game. And there is a high likelihood that a lead can potentially be obtained after a successful kill. You can get them from treasure chests very commonly. Each zone has potential for different lead rewards. You can get them from fishing holes, containers, lootable objects, daily quest rewards, resource nodes, Psijic portals, infinite archive, arena wards, and more. Essentially, by playing the game, once you have these professions unlocked, will enable you to get countless leads to scry and dig up all over Tamriel. It will be up to you to decide the major treasures you are after and look up the zones and activities necessary to unlock said leads. Also, most gold tier excavation rewards are not obtained with only one lead. You typically will need to find many leads for one reward, somewhat like the stones to the Infinity Gauntlet. And once you complete all of the listed leads under said reward, it should immediately appear in your current player inventory. Most rewards from Scrying and Excavation are player or account bound, and thus are not very profitable. But that is not to say there is no gold profit in these professions. The bonus rewards for learning to excavate well often have gold value. There are also motif rewards for zones which come out after Greymoor, which are not bound and can be sold. The newer the zone, the newer the motif, and thus the higher the demand, so the prices climb in that order typically. These motifs are unlocked by using treasure maps within the zone in question, and that might give insight into why different zones' treasure maps have different values. Those treasure maps can also unlock leads to newer and more desired furnishings and other collectibles, especially when a zone is freshly added to the game. Finally, you can sometimes get leads which purely are meant to excavate a purple tier treasure item, which can be sold at any merchant for 5,000 gold. Okay, I'm not sure what button it is on consoles, but on PC it's the same button that you click to bring up your quest log. So for us it's J, and then instead of the first tab, you go to the second one, Antiquities Codex. So I have a green lead here that it started me out with. Let me do this poorly. So I'm not going to get all of these. We're going for these circles. I'm going to miss 2. And then what that is going to do on the map is it's going to give you 2 dig sites. Sorry. It's going to give you 3. I think it gives you an extra one for every orb that you miss, to be honest. I never miss them on my main character. But yeah, so you get extra ones. It doesn't mean you're going to get extra rewards. It means that your actual excavation site is only at one of these, and it has now spread them out to waste your time because you did not scry well. So what we can do is we can take this failed lead where I missed 2 of them, and we can actually just try to redo it. And so there is a bit of RNG to this, and then also as you unlock these, and you rank up your ability to scry, you're going to have a lot easier time succeeding. Yeah, these are all pretty bad without the skills, to be honest. More bad options. Let's see if we do this. We're going to be missing 1 still. But it'll give you an idea of how this works. So now I redid it, and instead of missing 2, I missed 1. So now we have 2 locations, and they've changed. So sometimes you can also get 2 spots that are closer if you just want to spend a little bit more time doing this. You know what? I'm going to give it a couple more shots. It'll work so much better when I show you having a couple skill points into the profession, but just to really nail this home, to show you that you can just keep redoing this if you want to. That's already better RNG. This honestly might be a winner here. There we go. So it took me 3 tries. You see how fast you can do that, getting used to it. Kind of got to look for the right path, see how it lined up. If it gives you a bunch of single ones that aren't touching any other similar shape, that's kind of where you're SOL. So now I have this nice, easy, one singular location to go scry at on this brand new character. Okay, I've arrived in the circle that we marked on the map. This is the area where our excavation site exists somewhere. Now to locate it, I did place the Antiquarian's eye tool on the tool belt. I'll show it again just in case. So go over to quick slots in your inventory. You're going to find the icon that says tools. And then it's the Antiquarian eye. You just want to drag it over into one of these slots. And then you can select it down below, like any potion or companion or anything. And then you just hit it. It has a cooldown. This right here, see the way it's flowing this direction? The bubbles are flying in this direction. Oh, it's right there. Sometimes it's far away, but it's going to point you in the direction to travel in order to find this. Okay? So sometimes it'll be all the way across, and it's a straight shot. So if there's a mountain in the way, if there's trees in the way, whatever, you still should try to aim in that direction and find your dirt mound. Now dig it up. This is only a green quality, so it's going to be pretty easy. We get auger. You get a few uses of the auger to try to locate where your treasure is in here. So orange means I'm getting further away. Yellow means you're closer. You want to get as close to green as possible. The further away you get, it'll be red. See how that's a deep red? So we're somewhere over here. Yep. So this was indicating it was around here. If we go up too far this way or too far down this way, this will be orange as well. Means you're getting far away. Yellow here. We're really centered in here. So I can use up my last two there just to do it. We know that we're here. Switch over to the hand brush. We don't have any of the other current tools, or currently we don't have the other tools, so we're going to learn about those in a bit. So it's going to be as simple as just digging down. When you just use the hand brush, there's nothing else to it. It's extremely basic. Just dig up your main treasure first. Then when looking for bonus treasures, go to locations that are the lowest point already. So you don't want to start on these big rocks because you're wasting a click each time. Just hit a bunch of clicks on these lower points. There you go. Got some bonus loot there. For the green quality, it only allows one extra reward. Kicks you out. Later, for higher tiers, blue I think it's 2. For purple it's 3. Same for gold, or it's 3 or 4. But the rewards are also better. So that is the primary first introduction to doing a scry and an excavation. And then as you start to level this up, ideally in Artaeum, the small island, as you start to level it up, you're going to be able to put points in over here. And these points increase your odds of success, increase your odds of finding the dirt mounds. It gives you more time while excavating. It gives you extra abilities to do special excavations, like digging out large squares or lines, or even using explosions that are on there to blow up bigger areas. Not really my favorite way to do it, but it is a option. So always keep an eye on this as you're leveling up, and make sure you're not letting it sit without putting points in, because you might be making the process harder on yourself. Alright, let's switch over to my main to properly do these. Now, I will show you how I scry and excavate for rewards, and how I do so quickly and with the maximum rewards possible most of the time. I will also discuss how you can reset a bad run if you wish to do so, since RNG can be rough even if you play it well. Alright, I'm going to run through scrying some leads and then excavating them. I actually already did a bunch, and unfortunately that recording did not save. So that's a huge bummer for me. I even unlocked a new mythic, and I was going to show how that worked. Instead, I'll just have to tell you. So I did a bunch of leads, and when I got all of them completed, I unlocked the Shattered Path Signet, and it just instantly showed up in my inventory. So I really wanted to show that happening in real time. Sorry, it's not going to happen. I'm going to have to just do other leads here instead. So I'll do these Valenwood skull blocks, and I'm going to show you guys using the different powers. So I think I ran through these on the other one, so I'm going to run through them now. Farsight, not a huge fan. Once you have some stuff unlocked, if you I should actually just do a coalescence first. Let's do a coalescence so I can properly show you, and I'll click it. Now if I do Farsight, it's going to allow me to, or no, it's this one, Dilation. if I select any shape around the area I've already unlocked, it'll unlock all shapes like it that are touching blocks I already own. That can be useful. I'm not saying it's complete garbage. It's just not my favorite thing. Farsight, if I were to select a block, I could go in a straight line. Here, I'll just do it. See, I could go a straight line here, straight line there. I cannot go diagonally enough to get this one. So I'd be able to unlock that. Can't get down there because it's being blocked by ones I already own. So I guess I'll go here. I do not prefer either of those. I only use coalescence, and I'll be showing that more as this video goes on. So I'm going to use a coalescence there, and it's actually not a ton of options for that one. Didn't super think that one through, but do that. Okay, got another one. And every time you get one of these orbs, you get half of one of these power diamonds to use another ability. So I got a couple orbs, unlocked another coalescence, so I can just make them all that one same shape. There we go, that one's done. So I'll show you how quick you can actually run through those once you get really used to them. And actually, let me just do that real quick now for my other lead that I have here. So I have another master lead here. I'm going to use my coalescence. Gonna hit that. That. There we go. I've unlocked a couple more coalescence by getting all these orbs. It's literally that fast. To run through scrying, even at master level, it's extremely easy once you put the points in and unlock those abilities. Coalescence, to me, is by far the best ability. I just never even touch the other ones. So, fortunately, one of them popped up right here. The scrying area is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Antiquarian's Eye on my toolbar, which we did go over earlier. It's pointing me in this direction. It's never going to be like up in the town, I don't think, and these like little villages and stuff. I think there's sometimes one back here. My Antiquarian's Eye is back up off cooldown, so if it's not right here, which I'm not seeing it, I'm going to use it again. Oh, there we go. Okay, and we're going to do a dig site. Alright, not to repeat myself, but time to re-explain this again. So, on these higher levels, to use the auger, you cannot do it on these high levels of dirt. Think of it as like layers. I'm going to probably put an infograph on the screen, but layers of the actual Earth's crust. So the harder the dig site gets at the... this is master level, so it's actually not the highest. The highest is like ultimate legendary. And there will be even more sandy looking rocks that are even higher up, and you cannot auger through them. So all of these light tan blocks are impossible to auger around. You have to go to these darker ones that signify more of like a dirt and rock level, like dirt and boulder. So I'm gonna use the auger here. Got yellow. So yellow meaning it's never gonna be up here. This is all gonna be red. This is most likely gonna be red as well, orange. And yellow is either indicating, unless it's right here. You know what, let's test it out. You know what? It might actually be in the center. So if we got yellow here and here, it's most likely going to be up. Very unlikely, but it could be down here as well. Let's test up. Yeah, it was up in the center. So if we were to click up here, it would have been yellow because it's also pointing towards the center. If we were to click up here, this is going to be orange. If your actual antiquity is in the middle, most of the map actually won't be red. It's going to be yellow to orange. Very small chance that it might be red in the corners. But yeah, it's not always, or very unlikely, in the center anyway. I got one more, so maybe I can give another prod here. Okay. Yeah, so we're looking at a shape probably like this. Maybe even just like this. So now we're going to work on getting this area leveled out so that we can use our shovel tool. The trowel will dig straight down 3 layers with a single rectangle of power. If you have 2 rectangles of power, it'll dig down 6. So be very careful if you use the trowel, especially, because you can very easily dig too far and damage your treasure or lose yourself the dig. It'll kick you out if you destroy the treasure. I also just typically don't use the trowel much at all. I am a very heavy shovel user. So we're going to use the hand brush and use that to power up the shovel. And I'm not going to get it up to 2 bars. And that's because I want to just do 1 layer here. If I were to do 2, it would only dig the shape that I currently have hovered, which is this. Let me go back to the hand brush. It's this shape right here. This is all the same level. This Tetris piece. So if I shovel this, it's only going to dig that level. There we go. And now we have this like H shape, sideways H, or maybe even an I. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge up my shovel one more time using the hand brush. Let's say here. And I'm going to take this down. And now all of this is 1 level. Selecting the shovel, I can show you that. So all of these will go down 1 level together, or 2 if I charge up the shovel twice, which is totally safe to do now. So I'm going to click here, get these at a similar level. Use my 2 power charges and the shovel, and dig down 2 levels there. I'm going to continue over here. Let's see, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this down a level. It gave me a bonus charge back. That is because of a skill point that I have in the excavation tree. There's a small chance that you get power back after expending it. You can get 1 bar back, or you can get 2 if you've expended 2. So it's totally luck based, but when that happens is when you have the best chance of getting bonus loot, because you get more digs out of your time up here. To go over the time, this is not actual time. You do not have 10 hours and 48 minutes, obviously. This is actually based on clicks. So the time is like, it's using lore as if you're sitting there digging for long periods of time, but really it's how many clicks you've done. And if you watch, every time I click or use one of the power abilities, that timer goes down. I lose time on my dig. I'm going to power that up full, and I'm not going to dig here yet because that would be the wrong level. So it would dig down all of these blocks except for this one twice, and then that one would be off a level. So instead, I have a perfectly full square here. I'm going to click right in the center of it and dig down. Now this is the very last level. You want to get very used to that. It looks like fine rocks on top of a thin dirt layer, right? You never want to over dig. Do not use 2 power-ups on a shovel on this. Just 1 shovel. If you do 2, you're going to break your antiquity. It's going to be way too powerful. So I want to get 1 charge of shovel here to be able to dig that down a level. Let me find another spot that I want to even out. You know, I probably want to go here. The reason why is this happened to randomize a lot of these smoking blocks. And on these smoking blocks, if you dig down, they'll explode. There is a method of using the trowel to like line them up and have them explode in a line, but it's really not efficient. And I feel like you get less blocks uncovered doing it that way to look for bonus loot. And sometimes you even work your way out of getting the actual treasure by trying to line those up. So instead, I just avoid them. You don't want to dig down without using the trowel because it will damage your main treasure each time you do that. And you can only damage your treasure twice before you lose the whole excavation. So again, I'm going to dig down here a little bit. I'm going to unlock my treasure there. I'm going to dig here a little bit more. I'm going to make this all 1 layer. I got a bonus power back. Let's see. Alright, I can do 2 here now. I keep leveling this out and powering up my shovel for this. There we go. And I got a bonus loot there. Okay, did 2 there. I probably do not have enough time left, or enough clicks left, to start a whole nother square elsewhere. So I'm gonna work on using just my shovel charges here, and then digging out the lower levels with singular brush charges, or singular brush uses in order to power up my shovel. You don't want to dig from the top because then you're wasting clicks to get to the bottom. So right now the lowest one on this map is this level right here. These little blocks. One more treasure. I might not get all of the treasure this go around. This is the rare scenario where I'll use the trowel. There was nothing down there. I'm gonna run out before I get to the bottom of this, so I'm gonna use the trowel with a single charge to go down 3 levels here. There was no reward. I'm gonna leave this one with 2. Okay. And now, from here, I've kind of given you a solid run through of scrying and excavating, but what I'm going to do without talking and without distracting myself is I'm going to run through a number of more scrying and excavation at normal speed for myself so you can see what it can look like. And I mean, I'm sure many of you can even get better at it than I am, but this is just how I do it, and it works very efficiently. I've seen too many people uncovering these all the time with just clicking the brush or using the shovel haphazardly, or destroying their antiquities and causing themselves to have to rerun it many times. So if you follow my methods, it's going to be better than that. And if you come up with even better ones than my method, then that's fantastic. This is mostly to get you an introduction and show you how I do them quickly and usually walk away with extra loot. All right, here we go.
Fascinating. Canarchan swiftness.
Come, the everlasting fair welcomes all. Make your way.
Those mammoth cheese bites are delicious. A profound find.
Hopping in here for a moment to say on this next one, I'm going to use it as an example for the first try for something that you can do. Oh, it's right here. So I'm going to activate the dig site and I'm going to waste my digs. I'm not even actually going to look where the treasure is. Let me just go willy-nilly here, using my power, just absolutely going crazy. Oh look, that's part of the treasure right there. So I've botched this, right? I'm probably not even getting this uncovered. I'm not getting any bonus loot. So what I can do is simply exit. I hit escape. It tells me that it's gonna, delete my progress and I'm gonna have to restart. And it's also going to relocate the dig site. It disappears there. But it's still within the same spot, so I don't even have to run far. I just have to find the next dig site. You can also use this to keep track of dig sites. So if you really want to find them all and you want to spend the time doing this, you can unlock them that way. It's kind of a way to cheese finding different locations and keeping them for your own data. I don't think that's necessary. It's not something I do. This one was actually very close. So yeah, that's something I want to show you. You can also do it in case you aren't going to get any bonus loot. As long as you don't uncover your main treasure, the antiquity, as soon as you uncover the whole antiquity in here, then you're kind of SOL. You're locked in. Even if you escape, you will escape with it being completed. But if you don't uncover the antiquity and you realize it's a bad run and you want a better shot at getting bonus loot, if you want to try to get all 3 items of bonus loot, then you can reset all of these as much as you want. So if you got most of your antiquity dug up, but you leave a little bit covered, and you're looking for all 3 bonus loots and you don't get them yet, you can escape. I wouldn't personally do that for the amount of time. I'm okay with just getting like 2 bonus loot. Sometimes on rare occasion, just only 1. Ideally, you'll get all 3. But, you know, to each their own. I just wanted to make sure that that was a known mechanic that you can employ. All right, continuing on.
I had not thought such a thing capable. fascinating to see them. To hold history in your...
Don't want to aggro that. If you get aggroed and then activate a dig site and it comes and hits you, it'll kick you out and then you have to go refine the dig site. So just be wary of that. All right. So for starting this method, we're going to begin the normal way with the auger. We got yellow there. We're going to find our antiquity. It's going to be here in the center. No. On the left. Yes. All right. Far left this time. And we're going to dig this up the normal way to begin with. Let's take that down another level. I honestly want to go up once. Maybe not. Let's find out. Okay, I can use... No, I need to finish that off, actually. Let's just do that. Okay. So now we're focusing on these fissures and the trowel. But the majority of this setup, we're only going to be using the hand brush unless I show you what is happening with the trowel. We cannot dig through these fissures at this level. It actually has to be much lower. It has to be down one more level from here. It needs to be on this little pebble level, the brown dirt pebble level. And what you're going to try to do is connect these at that level. You can either just connect 2, you can connect 3, all of the fissures if possible, ideally. It's just not usually realistic. But we're going to try to connect as many as we can. So look, I'm going to select the trowel. I'm not going to click. But you see how now there's a highlighted line between these two? Not when I go over these, but when I specifically hover over one of the fissures. It's because if I dig down with the trowel right now on this fissure with 2 power blocks full, it'll explode this in like a domino effect. But we've got plenty of power left, or plenty of time left, and we're going to try to connect these other locations. So let's dig here. That's going to connect those in. Let's look. See that? And we're going to now try to get around to this one. Now, I could go straight here. Am I going to get extra if I go around? I just don't know if I'll have enough time. So I'm going to leave this path, and I'm actually just going to do the easy thing and take this down a few more. I've now connected all the fissures. This is the most efficient we're going to get for this specific strategy in this run. And then we're going to have some extra time left over. So let me show you how this works. Okay. So, of course we get the best luck in the entire guide video while doing the tactic that is technically least efficient. This is RNG. Welcome to RNG, boys and girls. So, this method currently making me eat my words, but it's just chance. I did dig down less squares this way than had I done the 3x3 shovel method. Not by a lot. It's still a decent method, but it's sporadic. The map and how it's laid out can change it drastically. Also, your path cannot go over where your antiquity is. Even if you dig down the right amount with that explosion, if it goes over your antiquity will break and you will lose the excavation minigame. But yeah, that's how this works. That's the example. They happen to be all in a line right above the antiquity. It's very lucky for me. And we also got a very nice Kindred Concord shoulder motif, which we'll go look at promptly. Kind of give you an idea of why bonus loot in some of these zones, especially some of the newer zones, is extremely worth it. Oops, I'm on the wrong thing. That's it's a lot less than it used to be. This used to get you a couple 100,000 gold when this content was newer, but still 20-30,000 gold just by getting a bonus loot while doing an excavation, not bad at all.